The Titan submersible was not just any vessel, it was designed for a very specific, audacious purpose. Its mission was to carry adventurous souls to the haunting depths of the North Atlantic Ocean. There, at approximately 3,800 meters, or 12,500 feet below the waves, lies the wreck of the RMS Titanic. This iconic ship, a legend swallowed by the sea in 1912, continues to fascinate explorers and history buffs alike. The Titan aimed to provide a rare, up-close glimpse of this underwater monument, a testament to a bygone era and a tragic maritime disaster. The journey itself was a significant undertaking, pushing the boundaries of tourism and exploration into one of the Earth's most unforgiving environments, a place of crushing pressure and eternal darkness. The crew aboard the Titan for its final voyage on June 18, 2023, was a diverse group, united by a spirit of adventure. Leading the expedition was Stockton Rush, the CEO of OceanGate Expeditions, the very company that designed and operated the Titan. Rush was not just an executive, he was also the submersible's pilot, a man deeply invested in the promise of deep-sea exploration, and an advocate for innovative, if controversial, submersible design. Alongside him was Hamish Harding, a British billionaire with a well-documented passion for exploration. Harding was no stranger to extreme adventures, holding multiple Guinness World Records and having journeyed to space and the Challenger Deep. Another key figure on this perilous journey was Paul-Henri Nargeolet, a renowned French deep-sea explorer. Nargeolet was often called Mr. Titanic due to his extensive experience with the wreck. He had completed numerous dives to the site over several decades, recovering thousands of artifacts and possessing an unparalleled knowledge of the Titanic's underwater resting place. His presence on the Titan lent a significant air of expertise and legitimacy to the expedition, as he was a veteran of the deep respected worldwide for his contributions to understanding the famous shipwreck. His colleagues described him as meticulous and deeply respectful of the ocean's power. Rounding out the group were Shahzada Dawood, a prominent Pakistani-British businessman, and his 19-year-old son, Suleiman Dawood. Shahzada hailed from one of Pakistan's wealthiest families, and was known for his philanthropic work and business acumen. He shared a keen interest in science and discovery. For young Suleiman, a university student, the trip was reportedly undertaken to please his father, particularly for Father's Day, despite his own deep-seated fears about the voyage. This poignant detail adds another layer of tragedy to the narrative, highlighting the human elements and personal motivations behind this fateful expedition into the crushing abyss. The morning of June 18, 2023, began like any other mission day for the Titan. The submersible launched from its mothership, the Canadian research vessel MV Polar Prince, at approximately 8 o'clock local time. The descent into the cold, dark waters of the North Atlantic was meant to take a few hours, a slow journey towards the historic Titanic wreck site. On board, the 5 occupants would have been preparing for the awe-inspiring views. The support crew on the Polar Prince monitored the dive, maintaining regular communication with the submersible as it made its way deeper and deeper into the ocean's embrace, a routine start to what would become an internationally watched crisis. However, the routine nature of the dive was shattered approximately 1 hour and 45 minutes after it began. At around 9:45, communication between the Titan and the Polar Prince abruptly ceased. At this point, the submersible was well into its descent, far below the surface. Worryingly, around the same time contact was lost, the United States Navy, using a top-secret acoustic monitoring system, detected a sound signature. This signature was consistent with an implosion or explosion in the general vicinity of where the Titan was believed to be operating, a chilling piece of information that would only become widely known later. As the hours ticked by without any word from the Titan, concern on the Polar Prince mounted. The submersible was scheduled to resurface at 3 o'clock that afternoon. When that time came and went with no sign of the vessel, the situation escalated from concern to alarm. The crew of the mothership understood the grave implications of a deep-sea submersible losing contact and failing to return. It was not until 5:40 in the evening, several hours after the missed check-in, that the United States Coast Guard was officially notified of the overdue submersible, setting in motion a race against time. The notification sparked a massive international search and rescue operation. Assets from the United States, Canada, and France were quickly mobilized, converging on the remote area of the North Atlantic. The search was incredibly challenging, covering a vast expanse of ocean, both on the surface and in the depths. For a few tense days, faint hope flickered when reports emerged of banging noises detected by sonar buoys. These sounds, picked up at regular intervals, briefly suggested the crew might still be alive, perhaps trapped but signaling for help. However, these hopes were later dashed when authorities concluded the noises were likely just natural ocean sounds or from other ships in the area. The intensive search continued, fueled by dwindling oxygen supplies aboard the Titan if it were still intact. Then on June 22, 2023, 4 days after the submersible went missing, a breakthrough occurred. A remotely operated underwater vehicle, a deep-sea robot deployed from the Canadian ship Horizon Arctic, made a grim discovery on the seabed. The ROV found a debris field approximately 500 meters, or about 1,600 feet, from the bow of the Titanic wreck. This was the area the Titan had been aiming for, and the presence of debris here was an ominous sign, immediately shifting the focus from rescue to recovery. The nature of the debris left little doubt about the Titan's fate. The U.S. Coast Guard, after analyzing the wreckage, confirmed that it was consistent with a catastrophic implosion of the pressure hull. The immense water pressure at that depth, thousands of pounds per square inch, would have caused the hull to collapse instantaneously if its integrity was compromised. This meant that all 5 occupants would have perished immediately, without any awareness of the impending disaster. The news was heartbreaking for the families and for the search teams who had worked tirelessly, hoping for a different outcome, a miracle against the odds. Investigators later pieced together more details, including information from the U.S. Navy's acoustic detection system. The sound heard by the Navy on the day of the dive was in fact the sound of the Titan imploding. It was further revealed that an ominous bang, or a sound akin to a car door slamming, was heard over the radio communications by the support crew on the Polar Prince at the time the sub is believed to have imploded, due to the faster speed of sound in water compared to through the communication system's data transmission. This sound would have reached the support ship even before any final telemetry message from the Titan, a chilling testament to the speed of the catastrophe. The discovery of the debris field marked the tragic end of the search for survivors. Pieces of the submersible, including the tail cone and landing frame, were carefully documented by the ROVs. Some of this wreckage was later recovered and brought to St. John's, Newfoundland, on June 28, 2023, for investigation. The images of the twisted metal served as a stark visual confirmation of the violent forces at play in the deep ocean. The world watched, saddened by the loss of life and contemplating the perils of venturing into such an extreme and inhospitable environment, a place that guards its secrets fiercely. The Titan tragedy did not occur in a vacuum. It unfolded against a backdrop of pre-existing safety concerns. Numerous warnings had been raised by experts and even former OceanGate employees regarding the submersible's unconventional design. Specifically, the use of a carbon fiber composite for the main pressure hull was a significant point of contention. While carbon fiber is strong and light, its behavior under the repeated stresses of extreme deep-sea pressure was not as well understood or tested as traditional materials like titanium or steel for such applications. These concerns were not just whispers, they were documented. Experts in the submersible industry had expressed serious reservations about the Titan's safety and the integrity of its carbon fiber hull. There were reports that a crack had been discovered on the hull during an inspection a year prior to the disaster. Concerns about potential delamination, the separation of the layers in the composite material, were also voiced, which could catastrophically weaken the hull without obvious external signs. David Lockridge, OceanGate's former director of marine operations, had reportedly raised red flags about quality control and testing procedures before his departure from the company, highlighting a disconnect between the company's innovative approach and established safety protocols. Despite these significant warnings from credible sources, OceanGate continued its operations, promoting the Titan as a groundbreaking vessel. The company's CEO, Stockton Rush, who perished in the implosion, had been vocal about his belief that existing regulations stifled innovation in deep-sea exploration. The allure of visiting the Titanic, combined with a narrative of cutting-edge technology, attracted paying customers. The U.S. Coast Guard initiated a Marine Board of Investigation on June 25, 2023, to determine the cause of the implosion, with a final report expected later in 2025. Subsequently, OceanGate announced the cessation of all its exploration and commercial operations. The loss of the Titan and its 5 occupants serves as a profound and somber reminder of the inherent risks associated with deep-sea exploration. The ocean's depths remain one of the most challenging and unforgiving environments on Earth. While the pursuit of knowledge and adventure is a powerful human driver, this disaster underscores the absolute necessity of adhering to stringent safety standards, rigorous testing, and independent certification for any vessel venturing into such extreme conditions. The echoes of warning that preceded this tragedy will hopefully lead to a renewed commitment to safety, ensuring that future explorations prioritize human life above all else, respecting the immense power of the deep.
So hit that subscribe and ring that bell too, for history's wonders waiting for you. Billy at Works, let the knowledge ignite, exploring the past with all of our might.